So this question comes up a lot, right? When you're young, when you have parents waiting, when you have your own goals, your own life waiting for you, when you have enough experience under your belt, but not so much that you can decide completely on your own, right? A lot of people during this time rely on others and go through other people's experience to understand what should they do. Should they do? And the question is, when is the right age to get married? And I think there's something wrong with this question because I don't think this is the question that we need to ask before we get married. I think the question we need to ask is, when are we ready to get married? And is this something we want? Because life is not like a set menu that you have to pick from. I'm not saying don't get married. Companionship and marriage and having somebody right there with you, next to you, is absolutely stunning, is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing like it. At the same time, doing it for the sake of it, just so you think that maybe one day you will have that support right next to you, can go disastrously wrong. And I say disastrously because there are a lot of factors that we don't include before we make this decision. You know, think about all things you will need to go through before making such a decision. Think about all the life experiences that will follow this decision. Think about every step that will meet you and that you will be faced with. Let's assume that you get married. One, living with this person, understanding how they work, how they respond to challenges, how they respond to emergencies, what do they consider an emergency? Are they emotionally independent? Are they mentally independent? What kind of crutches do they use? What kind of dependencies do they have? Because understand one thing, that these decisions that you, these moments in life that you will be living with this person, yeah, you have to understand if they will be emotionally mature and mentally capable of taking those decisions on their own, just by your side. Let's say you have a child with them. Do they have the emotional maturity to raise a child? Do they have the mental capacity? Do they have a self-image? Do they need validation from other people? Can they take decisions on their own? Do they always rely on somebody else for this? If things don't go right, this is a person you'll not just be marrying, you'll be divorcing. And then think, can this person meet you? Will this person prioritize you during your marriage? Or if God forbid it needs to end, will they prioritize you? Because sometimes we discount the future for what we are getting in the present, but we don't really understand that marriage is just the beginning of your entire life ahead. So if this person, can you notice before getting married, is this person prioritizing you, or is this person prioritizing his own or her own well-being? Can you see what they prioritize? Is it money? Is it only money? Is it wealth? Is it validation? Is it image management? Is it Is there a lack of self-esteem? Is there self-sabotage? Is there avoidancy? When you get married, you want to get married. You want to first heal yourself. Let's not put the entire blame on somebody else of keeping the marriage afloat when it's a companionship or it's a partnership that we're talking about. So, first, you become the kind of person that you want to have, right? Are you somebody that you would want to marry? This would be the first step. If you can do this, by the way, if you can become the kind of person that you would be honored to marry, everything we've discussed so far will be null and void. You won't need to worry about this, because if you heal yourself, if you remove trauma from your decision making, if you remove anxiety, if you remove stress from your decision making, and if you can just go ahead and be that person that you want to be with, automatically you will pick and choose the right people that you would want to walk besides you. But I discussed all this because we are young at that stage, if it's possible to completely heal yourself, that would be amazing. Waiting would be amazing. Waiting to meet the right person would be amazing. I would say, going by the question, what age should I get married, is a very catastrophic way of living your life. Just think about everything that you would go through with this person. How would you behave? What would you do? How would they behave? What would they do? What does your intuition say? Is this person prioritizing you right now to woo you, to marry you? Or is this person going to prioritize you for the rest of their life? Do they prioritize anything else besides you? I'm not saying you have to be number one or just don't marry this person. A lot of things will come in the picture once you're married. Job will come, career will come, business will come, even parents, their health, different things can come. And the only way two people can make it work is if they know they are the priority, but right now something else is requiring their attention. If you are never a priority, then it will be very difficult to go ahead. If you have children with this person, understand that your child's emotional well-being will be dependent on this person. You will never be able to completely disassociate with this person. And even if you do, then the child will want that kind of a parental figure still in their life, right? So I am right now talking about all circumstances possible. I'm not preaching of a doomsday. I'm not saying, oh, things will go wrong, what will you do? No. I'm saying a lot of eventualities come in when we make a decision like this. And we need to keep all perspectives in mind. Love is great, it's necessary. Basing the entire relationship on just love alone will not work. Basing the entire relationship on logic alone and not love will not work. So there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a foundation of love without which it will not work. There also needs to be emotional intelligence. There also needs to be mental capability to understand that what you are going for is big. Always used to find it funny that this is something that you need a legal signature for. You need like when you're married, you're legally married and you have to have a legal procedure to dissolve it. When you have a child, there's no legal procedures involved. You can just have a child. So understand that a marriage is between two people, but it will affect so many in the years to come. See who are the benefactors, see who are the people who will be deciding things for you, or become your family. Think about all these things. There is no right age to get married. If you get married from a place of insecurity, or a place of anxiety, or a place of missing out on something that you're supposed to do in your life, understand that you can't just resign from this position and get out. You can if you don't have collateral damage. Oh, did I just call children collateral damage? That's not what I meant. uh, you can if you are still two people in just a relationship, but understand that a lot of emotions are involved when people get together. A lot of money is involved. If you have lot of money, emotions, mental work, lot of people's expectations is not something you need to worry about, but even that will go into creating this concept of marriage. And if you are not sure of the person you are marrying, soon you will find yourself in a box or in a cage that you can't get out of. And that is a situation we need to avoid going into this. Not everything in life can be avoided. If you have been through such a situation, or if you have experienced the trauma of loss in marriage, or let's say separation in marriage, understand that it's not your fault. There are experiences in life that we are meant to go through. There are lessons in life that we are meant to learn. But at the same time, it's also important that you keep on evolving. You keep on understanding what was the lesson. What did I do that made me go into this? So if I give you an example, somebody who is suffering from a low self-image will marry somebody, will be attracted to somebody with a high self-image, and they will, maybe their subconscious or their persona or their identity will try to act like they also have a high self-image. And eventually, sooner or later, things will reveal themselves. The person who has a high self-image will realize that the other person has a low self-image, which means, and low self-image does not mean that there's, that is the point I'm talking about. A low self-image will lead to comparisons. A low self-image will lead to competition. A low self-image will lead to humiliation. It will lead to one-upping somebody. It will lead to winning instead of participating, and or at least moving together. A low self-image will lead to belittling somebody, making them feel small. So a low self-image by itself might not seem like a huge deal, but somebody with a low self-image is so harmful for somebody with a high self-image. And also understand that somebody with a low self-image will be considered weaker. So everyone or everybody will side with the person who's weaker, and the work or the maintenance will fall on somebody with a high self-image. So the person who does better, you've seen this in your career, in your job, if you have been in a job, or if you have built anything on your own, you will see that the person who does a good job gets more work, not more rewards all the time, but more work. The person who is able and has more value, can produce more value, will be given more in terms of assignments. So the person with a high self image will always be carrying the person with a low self image. Do you really want to do that? A person with a low self image should need to heal themselves first. Everybody, mostly so many people these days, even if I talk about my own experience, we've all had to heal ourselves from these small, subtle little, you know, um, conspiracies to bring us down that we used to feed ourselves. All our childhood, when we were getting older, these narratives that we told ourselves that affected our self image, and all these things that we believed, that we saw, that we understood as our own. When we saw somebody else's experience, we took it as our own. All these things we need to learn from. All these things we need to assess. All these things we need to just dissect and see. um, do I have a low self image as well? Where is it acting? Or maybe just in a few areas I have a low self image, or do I not feel worthy? Why do I not feel worthy? What is making me feel not worthy? Like if I talk about myself, uh, I used to feel like I needed to deserve. This is true for a lot of people, but I used to feel like I needed to deserve good things. I needed to deserve rest. I needed to deserve anything and everything, which means I needed to work towards a future where I could just relax. Just relaxing was something I needed to deserve. I had not gotten there yet. So I needed to do more, needed to do more, needed to do more. So relaxing became like such a far-fetched concept for me, because I equated it, or I connected it to doing more. So if your self-esteem is dependent on doing more, how will you ever relax? That stage will never come where you will feel comfortable relaxing, where you will give yourself the peace and uh, kindness to just be. So understand that this concept of marriage is such a huge decision that somebody takes, not to freak you out, not to upset you or give you more anxiety, okay? All of this is just to help you understand that this is not a checklist or a checkbox on your checklist. Don't do it for the sake of it. Don't do it because somebody else is doing it. Don't do it because if you don't want somebody else's life, don't follow their steps. When you look at somebody and you feel like emulating, you feel like copying what they've done, don't look at what they're doing. Look at where they are. Look at where they are. Do they seem happy? Are they actually happy? Is there a facade? Is there actual happiness? If there's actual happiness, sit with this person more, learn from them. Learn from them or observe them, and they will teach you through their being. Just the way they exist, they'll be able to guide you and teach you. But never follow somebody that gives the image of happiness but isn't really happy. And this is so common. Trying to give out an image of happiness is so common. Be very aware of it. Be very on guard with it. And understand that there is no one way to be happy in life. There is no one way to be happy in life. What does that mean? The person climbing, let's say, a corporate ladder, or let's say a ladder of success, who made that ladder? If I add one more rung on top of that ladder, will you climb that also? What if I add two more rungs on that? Will you climb that also? What if I add 10 more? Will you exhaust yourself now? Bleeding, sweating, blood, sweat, and tears, just to get into an imaginary ladder which somebody else built without your permission. And now you're going all gung ho to climb that ladder that was never made or selected by you. I'm not saying being ambitious is wrong. That's absolutely wrong, also. That's not what I meant or said at all. Being ambitious is doing better than yesterday. Being ambitious is being better than yesterday. Being ambitious is balancing your life as you go along, is not falling for other people's traps. You should not find yourself in a position where you're doing more, creating more, and being penalized for doing more because of somebody else's standards. This conversation started somewhere else and now we've reached somewhere else. It's all connected. One decision can impact so many things. Your career can be affected by this person. Do you know something strange? Your happiness and your success is dependent on the person that you marry. If you marry the wrong person, you might miss it. If you marry the right person, you might multiply it. It's crazy how interconnected everything is. Do you know love and success, or love and money, have the same vibration? Do not make life-altering decisions. By the way, nothing is permanent or nothing is fixed in life. If you made a mistake, you have full authority to fix it, correct it. Okay? At the same time, we do not want to enter into decisions knowing that they could be wrong for us. How do you know it's right for us? Okay? Most important question. How do I know that this is right for me? We all look for answers outside of us, but all the answers exist inside of us. We all look for answers outside. Look at people, look at places, look at books. But all the right answers for our life are inside of us. What do? We sit with that question and we see the feeling that comes up. If thinking of something and there is a constriction or there is a tightness in your chest, go deeper. First of all, that in itself tells you that you might not be on the wrong path, because the right path feels expansive, feels like your chest widening, opening. So the moment you think of a decision and your chest opens up and you feel happy and glad and giddy, that is the right decision for you. If you think of a decision, let's say you're thinking of making a switch in your career, or let's stay to the topic. Let's say you're thinking of a particular person. This person has been on your mind for a long time, and you think of this person and you imagine a future with them, and you think of how life will look with them, and your chest expands. You feel happy and giddy and almost smiley, and you're thinking, this would feel good. That's a step forward. If you think of the person, your chest constricts and fears come up. Fears could be your own fears also. Imagine where the sensations are coming from. There is a difference between, you can go deeper into this, but there is a difference between our mind hijacking our decisions, our life, and our intuition guiding us. Intuition is always softer. Intuition doesn't yell at you. Intuition does not say, you did it again, made a mistake, always keep making mistakes. I have to tell you over and over and over and over again. Why do I have to tell you so many times? Why don't you listen at one go? You did it again. That's not your intuition. That's your mind. That's your brain. That's your part of your nervous system that's trying to protect you. That's trying to keep you safe. The part of your brain, the part of the nervous system, the job of the nervous system is to keep you safe. It will reject anything and everything that you haven't tried and tested before. So if you're thinking of marriage and nervous system feels, oh, this is new territory, it might start panicking. At the same time, the intuition will guide you correctly. Intuition will be like, this feels nice. That's the sound of intuition. The sound of the brain is like, that feels wrong. Bad person, this, blah, 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 blah. That is the sign that the mind is talking now. It's loud. It's loud, it's aggressive. The intuition is softer. The intuition is like maybe your favorite teacher. I hope you have somebody like that, or a guide or a mentor that you had or you have, or somebody that's been soft with you. Imagine the way they speak to you. They'll tell you, you can do it. You can do it. Just try it. I think you can do it. Or you have it. And then think of the teacher that's been harsh with you. That is the mind. You can go deeper into this. There are books on this. The intuition will always guide you correctly. Your intuition has the map to you. Your intuition has your entire roadmap, your entire blueprint, whatever you meant to accomplish, whatever you meant to be. Your intuition will say, no, it doesn't feel good. Or something that will nudge you into saying, stop, just think about this. Or that felt good, huh? Or keep going. That is your intuition. For every major decision, even if you are a logical person, which I am guilty of, never ignore the intuition. You can go extremely logical if you want to, but your intuition should be your final checkpoint. Your intuition should be the last factor, or if not the first, that will give you the go ahead or the slow down. If you still don't know, if you're still unsure, ask for a sign. Look up, say, God, are you with me? Or universe, are you with me? Or the divine, are you with me? If you are with me, show me this sign, and then specify. If you are with me, show me this sign. Once you get that confirmation, which you will, then maybe before going to bed at night, or just you can delegate as much of your complicated decision making, all of your unruly mind, and anything that's keeping you stuck, to God. Just don't overthink it. I remember once I was having a conversation with my friend, and this person asked me, who do you pray to? Like, are you religious? And I said, actually, since I am not extremely religious, I feel like I should not ask for things from God, because I feel like I have not given enough to Him. So I don't know how to expect anything back. And he said, these are the feelings you have with God? And that made sense, because our problem, and this is something I read in a book. I have this really favorite quote of mine, and I was looking at a lot of books, and I saw a familiar name which made me stop, and then I looked at the book right underneath it, and this book was written by the person who had quoted that quote. So I am sorry about this, if you can hear the beeping of the messages. So I started reading that book. I couldn't finish it. I will. But first chapter in itself was so gratifying, because they cleared something very very huge for me. They said that we keep thinking that God is, vengeful, that we keep thinking that God is judgmental, we keep thinking that God, if He knows everything I have done, He will not like me, He will not support me, He will not want good things for me. Because our assumption is that God is made in the image of man. So, since man is judgmental, since man is unaccepting, since man is revengeful, God would be the same. But then that person said that that's the ego talking. Like, how can we even bring the divine to a lower standard and say that he is created in the image of God? We perceive him in the we perceive him in the image of human form. But God is not created in a human form. Humans are created from the divine. So we are divine, a small part of a big, expansive God form or divine form. So whatever expectations we have from God are our expectations from human beings, but they are not the same. So whenever we expect bad things or sad things or cruel things to happen to us, they are usually the effect of our own karma. They are not being sent from God. We have chosen this life on this planet as a human being to go through this cycle of positives and negatives and blacks and whites. Whenever we choose a black, we'll get the opposite, we'll get this corresponding karma back to us. So whenever we are suffering, we're suffering of our own accord. We are suffering from our own mistakes, from our own learning, and the amount to which we are suffering also we are deciding. Sometimes I think we just suffer because we feel like we should suffer at this point. Sometimes somebody will say something bad and we'll start crying because we feel like we should be crying at this time. No, like they said something bad to us. Even when we don't feel like crying, sometimes we feel like that is the right thing to do. Let's suffer. And we decide how much to suffer. So let's not connect that with God. God is not involved here. He's not involved. God wants to give you good things. God thinks of you as his own part, his own self. He wants the best for you. He is waiting for you to just ask him, to just say, please help me. Like, show me the way. I'm tired right now. Like, I don't want to do it. For 2 weeks, just take over. 3 months, take over. 3 years, take over. All my entire life, just take over, okay? I don't want to do this on my own. And then don't feel guilty about it. Just give it up. Give it over to him. Give it over to him. Let him manage things for you. Just say, guide me. If you want, go deeper and say, guide me about the guidance also. Show me the blueprint, show me the path, and then tell me that this is the path. And make sure I don't miss the path also. You want to level it up, you want to create stacks, create stacks. If you feel like you are tired, can't do it anymore, ask for help. As many times as you want. This is something I am guilty of. You don't have to do everything on your own. Nobody is asking you to do anything on your own. You have assistance, you have help. Go inwards, okay?